Hey, hi team. Myself Srikanth, and I have total 9 years of experience in the industry. And I'll be going to teach the course here like full stack Java. Okay. So here Java means like not only core Java. Okay. So here I'll be going to cover full stack. See what is meant by full stack. So full stack is nothing but like we'll be going to cover core Java. Okay. So that is nothing but Java enterprise, Java standard edition we can say, which is nothing but J2SE. And I'll be going to cover advanced Java here. So which is nothing but J2EE, which is nothing but enterprise edition. So here core Java is nothing but like standard edition, and advanced Java is nothing but enterprise edition, and including that. So here we'll be going to cover, in the full stack I can say. So I'll be going to cover like Oracle DB, Oracle database, and I'll be going to cover like some web technologies. What is meant by web technologies? Okay, so web technologies are something like we'll be going to cover like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript I can say. Okay, so these are the web technologies I'll be going to cover, and we'll be going to develop some small application. See here, each and every concept will be going to teach like, so what is the concept? Okay, what is the concept? And what is the purpose? See, what is the concept? So for example, let's say if you ask something, what is the encapsulation? And why we need to go for encapsulation? Why we need to go for the concept? Okay, and where we'll be going to use this concept? Using this concept. Okay, so this is how we'll be going to understand, each and every concept. And here in our in our technology, in our Java, right? So we'll be going to explain all these concepts, like what exactly the concept, why we need to go for the concept, where we'll be going to use this particular concept with an example. So with an example for every concept I'll be going to teach like this. This is what we can say like approach to teach the course. Okay, so here as I mentioned, core Java means standard edition, advanced Java means J2, J2E, which is nothing but enterprise edition, and this is backend, which is related to database. Oracle DB will be going to discuss, and web technologies. So before going to understand all these concepts, again in the core Java, what I'll be going to cover, and that index part I'll be going to explain. And before that, why should I learn any language? That is the main point we need to understand here. Why should I learn any language? Correct. See, any language, if you go for any other language like Python, or if you go for .NET, or if you go for any other language, the main motive of the language is why should I learn the concept? See here, so let's say, okay, what is the concept? We'll be going to understand the concept name called Java. Okay, and why we need to go for the concept? So why we need to go for the concept of Java, and where exactly we'll be going to use Java in a real world. Okay, so that is how I'll be going to explain in our introduction. Okay, so here first let's say we'll go with the small history of Java, and what is the Java I'll be going to teach, and next why we need to learn that Java I'll explain, and where we'll be going to use this particular concept I'll be going to explain. Okay, so here we'll be going to explain simply small history of Java. Okay, yeah, so here you need to understand, yes, Java is a programming language. Yep, we know that. So Java is a programming language. It's created by James Gosling from from Sun Microsystem in 1991. Everyone knows that name. James Gosling is a person which who developed Java in 1991. Right. So after that, in 2010, what happened? Like from Sun Microsystems, from some people who is acquired. So Oracle has acquired in 2010. Okay. So now Java API, if you are looking for Java API, so who will be going to develop this API information? Oracle people is providing that information, and it's a open source, correct? Java is open source, anyone can download it. So small history means, like I can say, yep, it's developed by James Hosling in 1991 from Sun Microsystems. See here, it is from Sun Microsystems only first. Okay, so from Sun Microsystems, I can say, and from Microsystems. So it is developed by James Gosling in 1991 from Sun Microsystems, who acquired by Oracle. We can say, right? So acquired by Oracle in 2010. Okay. So now it is from Oracle. So if you want to, download Java, or if you want to use Java, where we can get it? Yes, from Oracle.com only. You can get the things. Okay. Oracle has now it is the ownership, like the steermanship of this uh, Java is from now Oracle. Okay. So that is what simple history we can say. And why you need to go for Java? That is the second question. Again, I didn't even completed that most. It's a small history, right? Then what is the Java exactly here? So this is something like small history. Next, we need to understand what exactly the Java. So yes, we can say Java is okay. Java is object-oriented programming language. Okay, Java is object-oriented programming language, right? And we can say Java is platform independent, right? So Java is object-oriented programming language. Java is platform independent. We can say some other points related to Java. Java is secure. Java is robust. Java is robust. Java is what? Secure, robust, platform independent. And we can say Java is simple. Java is so high level language, correct? High level language, we can say. So these are the points we can say. If someone will ask you what is Java, yes, Java is simple. Java is simple, secure, robust, platform independent, object oriented programming language, we can say. So that is what we can say Java in simple word. So that is how we'll be going to explain to the end users. Okay. So if anyone asks you like what is simple, what is the meaning of Java? What is the main motive, or what is the definition of Java means? Yes, Java is an object-oriented programming language, we can say. So then the next question, how people will ask you something like, what is the purpose? Why should I go for Java? Why Java? Correct. So most of the people will think like, why Java means what? Yeah, Java is a programming language. We'll develop the programs. Yep. Okay, we'll develop the programs. By using that programs, what you will be going to do? Yep. You need to explain the answer like we develop the applications. So again, people will ask you which type of applications will be going to develop. Here we'll be having two types of applications. Okay. Applications like we have web-based applications, and we can say what? I mean, one is web-based application and another one, this is the most important web-based application, mostly people will be going to use in current scenarios, which is nothing but web-based applications. And you can develop another type is something like desktop applications. Okay, so which is nothing but desktop applications. See, what is the why should I go for Java? Develop the applications. What is meant by an application? Example, what you can give an example? Yeah, Facebook is an application. Yes. You can say Gmail is an application. Yes. Or you can say any net banking. Can I say an application? Yes. Right. So all these kind of applications can we develop by using Java? Yes, of course you can develop by using an application. So which kind of applications you can say these? These are nothing but web-based applications, right? These are nothing but web-based applications. Then what about desktop applications? Yeah, desktop applications means without internet also. Whatever we can develop, those applications called desktop applications. With internet, whatever we can develop, those are nothing but web-based applications, right? So desktop applications example, what we can say here, we can say those are nothing but, let's say Notepad. Is it a web-based application or a a desktop application? It's a web-based, it's a desktop application, right? So here we can say example is Notepad. Yeah, of course, Notepad is one thing. And can we say something like Eclipse? Yeah, Eclipse is also an application. You just need to install it in your system. Without internet also I can use it in Eclipse. There is a calendar. Yes, calendar is also an application. This is also desktop application. Without internet, can I use it? Yes, you can use it. Calculator. Yes, you can use it. Those that you can use that. You can say that also like related to desktop applications. Yes, by using Java, yes, we can develop the applications both. So web-based applications and desktop application. Our motive, why should I go for Java? Means develop the applications. Again, people will ask you, what is an application? Simply based on your request, it will process something and give the response. It's nothing but an application, we can say. Any application you can take. Let's say I'll be taking one of the net banking. Let's take HDFC or let's say ICICI Bank. If you can take any one of the application, what it will be giving to you, it will be giving based on your request, it will be processing your information and it will be giving some response to you. That is what any application can do. So that kind of applications we can do by using Java. So can we, can't we do with other languages? Yes, you can do with other languages also. That's not like we can do only by using Java. No, it's not like that. There are some advantages by using Java. So that is the reason people are using Java for to understand the technology exactly. So here we can say these are the, this is the exact meaning of Java, and we can say Java features. These are something like some of the features we can say. So because of these features, yes, we can go for Java to develop web applications or any desktop applications. Okay, that is one thing to understand exactly where we'll be going to, why we will be going to Java. Now, see, why I'm going to explain all this means, yeah, any concept if you want to understand, this is the way we will be going to understand. Now, where we'll be using the concept, where we'll be going to use Java. Yes, just now I discussed why should I go for application, right? In the applications, where we are going to use Java. So, where we are using, where we are using Java in application. Okay, is the question. Okay, so now if you can take any application, if you can take any application, generic way, I'm saying in a generic way. Okay, application is having, application is having 4 layers. Okay, 4 layers. So those are nothing but, see, this is a, I'm saying in a generic way, but not, a specific way. Any application, if you can take generic way, so that is nothing but presentation layer, presentation layer. Okay, that the first one is presentation layer. Next one is controller layer. Third one is data access layer and data layer. Okay, so these are the 4 layers you can take for any application in a generic way. 4 layers we can say. 4 layers. First one is presentation layer, controller layer, data access layer, data layer. What all are these, Srikanth? See, like these are something like networking layers kind of thing. No, it's not like that. It's a just application architectural levels, application architectural layers. See, in the presentation layer, what is meant by presentation layer? Which you can see, whichever you can see, that is nothing but a presentation layer. So what I can say is, which is nothing but a view layer. Controller layer is nothing but you can say it's a business logic layer, and the third one is data access layer, which is nothing but accessing the data from the database to controller layer and vice versa. Okay. So next one is next one is data layer, we can say. Okay. So what is meant by data layer? See, simply data layer is something like, okay, data layer is something like yeah, data layer is something like database. Okay. So database is something like to store the data, right? So this is nothing but data layer. Data access layer means you need to access the data from the data layer and give to the controller layer, and get the data from the controller layer and giving to the data layer. So this is nothing but any application you can take. Let's say net banking. For example, I want to register first with the net banking. I need to give account number, first name, last name, all the details. For the first time, you will be going to see an application for the sign up. It is nothing but a presentation layer. So once you enter the data, it will be going, and we are validating in the controller layer whether all the details is correct or not. If you given the correct information, then controller layer to data access layer it will go. From the data access layer, it will be going to the data layer. So once we are completing all these things, finally for this particular account, we are going to store the data inside the database. Either you can take Oracle or SQL Server, whatever it is. You can take examples here. We'll be going to use Oracle or SQL Server. Okay. Here data access layer is something like, we'll be going to explain here JDBC, or we can say Hibernate. Okay. And in the controller layer, I'll be going to use, yep, of course, we'll be going to use here Java. Our question is where we'll be going to use Java means yes, in the controller layer and data access layer. Okay. In the controller layer and data access layer, we can say. Okay. So then what about data layer means? It is nothing but storing the data inside the database. We'll be going to use Oracle or SQL Server. Then what about presentation layer, Srikanth? Here we'll be going to use what? Examples HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. As I discussed in the starting, whichever will be going to understand in our course, Core Java, Advanced Java, Oracle DB, and Web Technologies, or will be going to develop web application or not? Yes, we'll be going to develop an web application. So that is what we'll be going to understand here. Presentation layer is something like view layer. So there, where we'll be going to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So for viewing and validating on front end side, that is nothing but view layer. So controller layer for business logic layer. For example, if I want to transfer some money to my friend, let's say I have 10,000 in my account, I want to transfer 5,000 to my friend. So the business logic or whether this account is valid or not, and in that account we have a proper amount and all. So all this information will be going to, will be going to validate in the controller layer whether that particular person accounts is active or inactive or whatever it is. Everything you can go and validate in the controller layer, and that controller layer will be sending to the database. But database we cannot communicate directly by using Java. So that is the reason we'll be having some medium called JDBC or Hibernate in the data access layer. From the data access layer, we'll be sending to the data layer. Okay, this is what we'll be having 4 layers. So here we can say data access layer and data layer. We can name it as model. Okay, presentation layer we can name it as view. Okay, and it is a controller. So people used to call, there is a name called MVC architecture. This is nothing but this only. Okay, okay. So model view controller, which is called MVC architecture. Yes. Where we'll be going to use Java in application means yes, in our total application we'll be going to use Java, and we are interlinked everything, and we'll be going to develop an application. Why we are learning any language, develop the applications. So here we'll be going to understand the concept of Java. So why should I learn any language means for developing a simple application, and we'll be working to, we'll be working more on that particular languages. So that is how it is. Yeah, it's a very simple demo I'm just giving to you guys. You can, if you want to understand why it is object oriented, why it is platform independent, again you will be having multiple questions on each and every point, right? So that I'll be going to discuss in our course, right? So that is what the course we need to join, right? And here I didn't mention the full stack development is something like it will be taking 3 months course. Okay, and here core Java will be taking 40 days, and advanced Java will be taking 25 days. Okay, so after that, web technologies and Oracle DB, everything I'll be going to cover in next 1 month. So totally it will be like 3 months. Okay, so it's a 3 months course. Yes, core Java, advanced Java, Oracle DB, web technologies, all I'll be going to cover in 3 months. This is what our course details, and every point whatever I mentioned here, what is the concept, why we need to go for the concept, where we'll be going to use this particular concept, we'll be explaining for each and everything, and we'll be going to use IDEs like, for the first examples I'll be going to use Notepad++, and for next things I'll be going to use Eclipse. Okay, so this is what we'll be going to think. We'll be going to talk like all the full stack development. Yeah, so thanks for watching the video, and we'll see in our classes. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We'll meet in our classes.